Again, afternoon, VHR, position and movement breakdown for how we're going to approach Gruul. Now, Gruul has basically a big round layer that he's going to be in the center of. So how we want to approach it is that we're going to have a tank at the 12 o'clock position, we're going to have a tank at the 6 o'clock position, and then we're going to have a group of individuals. What we'll do is, like, we have, for example, 20 present. We'll put the tanks in group 5, and then we'll break down group 1 through 4, and we'll do like 1 and 3, and we'll do 2 and 4 as an example, right? And we'll throw some color flags up, and we'll work forward from there. The idea is a loose spread through here for each one of the groups. So that way, in turn, when certain attacks come through, we're able to deal with it properly. Now, at the beginning of the fight, we're going to hero right off the bat, so that way everybody, with the idea of we get into position, once we're in position, call out hero, boom, engage, everything is active. We do as much damage as we can from the start. The rest of the game is that he's just going to be in the middle most of the time, and we're going to try to keep that radius as far as the center. So positioning and movement and things like that. Gruul isn't really, he's not fast. He's not going to be all over the place. The idea is he's just going to kind of randomly turn around, be angry at somebody, and do something. So what we want to look for is to make sure that we stack on or other players in their assigned location and ensure you split Inferno Slice damage. Now, as discussed in the previous video, Inferno Slice is basically a giant swing that he's going to do on the tank. And the idea is for the tank to move into Group 1 or Group 2 based on where the dot is from Inferno Strike. So the idea is, like, at 15 seconds when he does the first one, and on normal, and 13 seconds when he does the one on heroic, at 100 rage, the tank is going to pivot himself. So that way we properly end up having the split damage between the whole group. And the idea is 2 times here, and then at that point 1 time here, and then that tank takes over for a swap. Tank comes down here, and then 2 times here. So you see how that's how the tanks are going to have to move throughout it. Now, the big thing that we want to make sure that we're looking out for when we're in Group 1 and Group 2 is to move away from any of the cave-ins that end up being created. So that's going to be an AoE effect that'll be underneath you. That's why we're doing a loose spread on each side. We'll do like 3 yards and see if we need to make adjustments at that point. Anytime the attack comes underneath, you got to make sure that you move. You need to sidestep using your Q and E strafe. Whenever it comes to the overhead smash is going to create a fissure, a ravine through the section. Basically going to turn at you. He's going to be like, I don't like you. He's going to create that ravine. You see the image, you step out of it, and then immediately return back to your position. Also, by having a loose spread, it's going to be able to help us deal with Petrified. Petrified is that 20% movement debuff that stacks to 100%, so you can't move. Eventually become a statue, and then you blow up. So the idea is that the second that Petrified occurs, what we're going to want to see is, like, member X gets petrified. Member X needs to move like so. Another member, another member. So the idea is a spread like so, away from each other. The explosion occurs once you hit 5 stacks. He does the attack that makes you blow up, and you immediately return back to the group. Okay. Finally, during the second phase, Gruul's going to be pretty much in the middle to begin with. So at this point, this is when he's going to go and do his Tanner Tantrum. And at that point, he's going to do 4 attacks of the overhead smash. So at that point, what we're going to do is everybody's just going to spread out. So, like, tanks are going to go north, the tank's going to go north, this tank's going to go south. Everybody here is going to do the same spread like you would on Petrified. Going to do the same spread like you do on Petrified. And then when he's done, he's going to turn around, he's going to come back at the tank. At that point, the tank needs to position him properly. And then the function of phase 1 begins again. All right, if you have any questions or comments, please post them in the bottom. Click like if you enjoyed the video, and I appreciate it. Next one's coming up in just a little bit.